In Japan, we've been telling you about the unprecedented heat wave this week that's got many worried about global warming and
It's the worst streak of hot weather in June since records began in 1875.
On top of this, Japan's power supply grid is under such strain that the government fears it may not cope and has asked people to save energy.
6 a.m. early July up here in central Hokkaido. I'm taking a local ride around the Lavender Fields because the lavender is in season, and on the way we'll be talking about how the hell you stay cool. Yeah, on the big hills I pretty much do the full unzip. The reason why I do the full unzip is really you can feel the air right round your upper body, not just your chest but your back as well. But another big reason is up in Hokkaido we have bugs, and the other day I did a half unzip. During the course of the ride I felt something bite me in the chest, and then a few seconds later closer to the navel, and by then I knew it was time to stop and get the insect out of there. Anyway, by the time I unzipped, the thing had made its way down into my bib shorts and bit me on the you-know-what. Doesn't matter if it doesn't look like it bites. If it's Hokkaido, it probably bites. As you can see, I pretty much ride gloveless. The only time I wear gloves is early spring or late autumn when it's chilly and I need to keep my hands warm. I just get too warm in gloves, and I think if you've got good bar tape, you know, it's no big deal. I mean, I have lizard skins and plenty of cushioning there. I mean, the issue is if you come off your bike, well, that's another matter. Itadakimasu. 暑そうですね。ああ。で、暑くなる前に乗った方がいいかなと思って。はい。Another way of staying cool cycling during the summer months in Japan is heading up to the higher elevation areas. You know, if you were in Tokyo, Fuji Yoshida around Fujisan and the Five Lakes could be another area that's a little bit cooler. Pretty much for every 100 meters of elevation gain, it's going to be cooling 1 degree. So, I mean, it's 200 meters down here in the valley. And the top of the road up in the national park gets up to 1260 meters. So last week when I was up there, it was actually quite cool. When it gets really hot, I've got this cotton bandana which I use just to drape around my neck like this. It kind of does two things. It covers my neck from the sun somewhat. As long as this thing stays wet, it keeps you fairly cool. Plus you look like an English gent. Obviously early morning rides are the way to go. I mean, up here in central Hokkaido it can get hot during the middle part of the day, but in the mornings it's really quite cool. You know, the overnight low temperature could be between 12 and 14 degrees. So if you're cycling from 5 or 6 a.m, you know, it's probably not into the 20s yet. I carry 2 water bottles on the bike. The front one is just water and a hydration tab. The back one is just water. The idea with that one is pretty much I'm just dousing myself with it, keeping the bandana on my neck wet. That keeps me cool. Of course, there's vending machines pretty much everywhere around Japan, so there's no reason not to stay hydrated. When you come to this part of Hokkaido, you have to try the melon. Really, really good. And that's another good way of staying hydrated is melon. Important to be in the right sort of clothing when you're cycling in Japan during summer. So you can see that this jersey is a summer style, so it's pretty much mesh all around, and so I can feel the airflow as I'm cycling. My bib shorts, I tend to get bib shorts which don't come up very high at the front and the back. I think the ones which do probably keep you warmer than you should be. Something else to think about are shoes. I really like these shoes, but I think they're fairly warm. My previous shoes were Shimano's, and they were white. They had more mesh around the sides, so definitely more airflow. These ones are vinyl, they're black, and they only have small holes which let very little air through, so my feet feel fairly warm in the summer months, that's for sure. So if you like the video and the content today, please like and subscribe. And if there's anything that I missed in terms of how to keep cool during these summer months, let me know in the comments. Also too, if there's somewhere else in Japan which has kind of high elevation for this time of year.